Page 346, the Fifers. Happy little piece with a whole lot of notes going crazy. Same routine I always go through. I look it over, I see it's about a page long. That's longer than that because of the DCL Fine, but there's about a page of music to learn. We have endings there. You're repeating the first two lines more or less. Treble and bass clef, at least to start. There's three sharps in the key signatures, so it's either in the key of A major or F sharp minor. You do scales and arpeggios for both. This, I believe, if you look at the Fine at the end of the second line, it's here. It's an A major chord, an A major, okay. 2/4 time with a pickup beat. I'm going to take this super slow. I want a fingering that lets me connect the notes if I can get it. And their fingering doesn't do that. So we're starting here in the right hand. 1 and 2, and then a 1 and out. 1 E and out. Make sure those are even. If they're not, slow it down. But then in the third full measure, they want a 5 and then a 3. Yucko do. What are you doing? No. Even with small hand, reach up and use 2. Try and get it. Can you get a 2 on that one? With that, I know that's pretty far. You can use a 3 if you need to and do that. But I want to connect that. I want to connect this to this. So if you can, use 2 and then 3. Otherwise, you do 3 and then 4 and thumb. And same thing in measure 5. Use 2 if you can. Hopefully you can do that. I'm not sure. I don't know. If here, so I can connect it. Otherwise, you got to use 3 and then 4. What you can do, if you relax, you can use these awkward fingers. You just relax. I'm just passing weight from finger to finger. But if you can, use 2. And anywhere else in here I get that kind of passage, I want to reach up because I want to connect the notes. Now it gets a little tricky in the third and fourth line down there. Let's start with measure 15, where you're here, 3, 1, 3, and then go on. Measure 16, that's fine. You can use 5 again if you want, and then 3, or you can use 4, whichever for measure 17, or finish measure 16, 5 or 4, either one, and then go. And you're back to what you were doing. Now, in measure 20, we're on black keys here. Everything's in a black key, and that's the case, you're going to be up here, and it's okay. You'll fit, really, you'll fit. So in measure 20, and the last 2 notes, I'm going to do a 1, 2. This way, I'm in position for measure 21. Because they want you to do this here, and I don't. That's a really poor fingering, in my opinion. That's just no. So it's your measure 19. It's here. That's fine, but then go 1, 2 for the last 2 notes, and then a 3. And the end. The last measure, they want a 1, 5. You can do a 2, 5. I think you should do a 2, 5 if you can. Now that's hard to do because of the stretch. And if that's the case, then you need to use a 5th finger for the 16th note right before it. Can you do that? Yes. Good shot. Can you do that? Or 2, actually. And the reason for that is because it's a DC. And I got to go back to the beginning. And the beginning, it's here. And I want to use 3rd finger on that if I can. When I go do the DC, they have 4 at the top, and that's fine to start or to repeat it. But on the DC, 4's out of place, so I want to use 3. So I need to be on 2, 5 or 1, 5, so I can use 3. 2, 5 works better at the end. So the last 2 measures at the bottom, you're here. And you can do a 4 here if you want, but it's just easier in my opinion if you just use a 5. If you can do that. And just rotating, I'm just passing weight from finger to finger. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. That's all it is. That way I'm ready to go on when I go back to the beginning. 3 at the beginning and then 4. Yeah. And the left hand is pretty much straightforward. You're just playing it. You have rest, you got time to move. Yeah. Then I put the hands together, and I'll hesitate. That's okay. I just want to know how it's working. It's here, here, here. Rest. Make sure you lift up for the rest. You got to move anyway. So I'll put the hands together, and then I'll go back over it maybe just a measure 2 at a time and get rid of the hesitations. Keep it slow, but no hesitations. And once I can do that, I add the articulation, which of course they don't give us any. Isn't that delightful? What do? Anything we want. Considering when this composer lived, remember the default was to kind of bounce along. You separate that. You can connect these. This is how they get away with the fingering they're saying. You can do that. But I still think that's a really poor fingering. Just so I'm going to separate, except for the 16th notes. On the left hand, same thing. All the way through, the same type of articulation. If I could figure out somewhere in here where I could change the articulation for some contrast to maybe have a smooth section, I would do that. But the whole thing is basically like it is at the beginning. There isn't a smooth section that I can find, so okay. But you can experiment with it. Try, like at the beginning, try the first couple of measures or so disconnected, and then do the next couple of measures or so connected, just to hear what it sounds like. So just to hear the difference between connecting it or not connecting it. However, when I would perform it, I think I would disconnect it all. And then the dynamics apply to the melody. In this case, it is the right hand. Loud, whatever you think loud is. This needs to stay in the background. You get to measure 10 or pick up to measure 10, come down a little bit. Yeah, a little louder. And then in measures 18 or so, you get the crescendo. Yuck. Because you don't get a loud until the last measure at the bottom. Well, that means I've got like a whole 100 million measures to go here between sort of loud and loud. Really? No. We need to do something with that. That's not going to work. I'm not going to have a measure or a crescendo last that long and only go up a little bit. So what do we do with this? This is a challenge. Well, what I suggest we do is we take it according to the basic phrase. And we're going to make each phrase just a hair louder. And the phrase is like at the beginning. That's one. That's another. Well, here at the bottom, measure 18 or so, do the same thing. And then here. And then here. And then loud. Yeah. That would be the loudest part. I would probably be loud around measure 24 or so. I'd be loud a measure early because that's sort of where the accent. Yeah, I'd be loud in there. Don't have to. You could wait till the end. But do it each time. So at measure 18, you're sort of loud. You can actually come down maybe to moderately soft, give you more room to go. A little louder, just a hair. And just a hair louder. Now you're loud. I'd do it like that. So just a hair louder with each motif. We call them musical motifs. You could call this a phrase too. Musical motif is just a short musical idea of a few notes. A phrase could be that if it's a short phrase. And these phrases are only a couple measures long. That's how I think I would do the dynamics. It's better to get into it and feel the dynamics. Speaking of feeling, think about the natural acts. 1, 2, 1, 2. To hear. Feel the natural accent throughout here. Speed, allegro. Well, again, allegro's got to be the overall feel of the piece. I don't know what the beat's going to do. I really don't care. It's the feel of it. These eighth notes and 16th notes are going to slow it down. And how accurate can you play the 16th notes? That is smooth, even. Measure 15 here. If you've been practicing the scales, you'll be used to this feeling going slow, and when you need to speed it up, it'll happen. So however fast you can play, the hardest part is going to be your allegro for now. For instance, the last line. Listen. These. If you want to play that last with thumb and then put second finger on it, that's fine. But however fast you can play that accurately, I would say would be your allegro. It'll be different for different people. It's okay, really. Some teachers will insist, oh no, you got to have this speed, exactly this speed. Go away. I want to feel it. So it's however I feel and how much coffee or wine or beer I've had to drink. That's what it's going to be. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. We will do the DC fine, and we will do the repeat. At the end of the first line, you have first and second endings. You know how those work, I hope. I will give us 1.5 counts because we come in on the end of 2, and I'm going to put the metronome on eighth notes. We're going to go super slow here. Well, I think it's super slow. Ready and go. Repeat. Second ending. Second ending.